time, there was a guy who was getting his master's degree in the math department, and he was a teaching assistant there. And in his second year of his master's program, the department came to him and said, we're not sure we're going to have money for winter and spring quarter funds. Well, he had relied on that money for his welfare, for his living, and so he went to the Graduate School of Management and asked them if he could be an accounting TA. So he talked him into it, and he was going to be an accounting TA. Well, a few days later, coincidentally, mathematics found the money, and so he stayed in the math program. But in the meantime, he had made that connection, and toward the end of his second year of his master's program, he went back to the graduate school and said, I'd like to teach some accounting for you. I'm going to have my master's. And they said, well, we've got this class, Management 1B. And he said, okay, I'll take it. So he turned in his resume, and at the time it was 3 lines. It was very sparse. It was student teaching and TA, and he had worked for the Red Cross. So when he handed it in, he was still hopeful that it would get through. Well, during the 10th week of spring quarter on a Friday, they called him and they said he was turned down 6-0 by the staffing committee. Well, he wanted that position very much. And he went to the Graduate School of Management, German, at 3 o'clock that afternoon, and said, you are making a big mistake applying a man for this job. And he was a little brazen and a little crazy, but he wanted the job. Now, fortunately, they didn't have anyone else for the position. Most instructors don't like big lecture classes, and he thought he would have a nice time there. So he talked to German, and after an hour, to resubmit it to the hiring staffing committee. And then came finals week, and every day he called over there. Monday, Tuesday, and they couldn't get a quorum together. Wednesday, Thursday, no quorum, and exams would be over, and everyone was leaving for the summer. So finally on Friday, he found the chairman, and the chairman said, I will go over the committee and hire you. At that point, he grabbed his hand firmly and said, thank you. You won't be sorry. Well, that is not a story. That happened to me a few years ago. It seems like it's really was. And, you know, I've learned a lot teaching in this place. This usually is the most amazing things that have happened to me. And I've learned a lot, and I'd like to share it with you. Maybe somebody needs to hear this. I know I needed to hear it, and a lot sooner than I did. No one's going to save you. You have to save yourself. No one knows what you want except you. And if you don't get what you want, no one will be sorrier than you will be. Promise. And if you're not willing to stand up for what you want and work hard, no one's going to give it to you. No one's going to give you anything for free. You're going to have to fight for everything you want. And you know, I'm just an average, ordinary guy, no better than any of you. And there are days when I'm depressed, and I have my down days just like you do. You know, like when you get up in the morning, you just don't want to face the day. You just have so much BS in your life. I hate it. And I remember a time I was this close to giving up on my dreams. But I didn't give up. And I'm glad I didn't. So don't you give up on yours. You've got to grab on them as tight as you can and never stop striving for them, and never stop grabbing for them, and never stop dreaming. Okay? A few years ago, I met 2 very amazing people, and they inspired me to write a song in class. It's kind of a weird thing. So I'd like to just end this part with this little song. 2 good friends of mine, and we're just sitting where you are, wrote a personal to me in the Bruin, and said, there's just no accounting for taste. So I went home that night and wrote this song called There's No Accounting for Taste. So, this is the story of a shy lad, grew up at a time that for him was bad. And then one day he found some special luck. So he went to his room with a girl to write this song. buy my girl a gift, so I bought her a string of pearls. She was so happy we made love that night, all her hair was turned into curls. She took her to a friend and had no praise. He told her they were made of paste. She came right home and slapped my face. I guess there's no accounting for taste. Well, you can debit to the left and credit to the right. This accounting work keeps me up at night. I don't want to be no CPA, so you can take stuff and throw it away. 2 weeks later, I was out on a date. I had met this luscious lady. I picked her up in a school bus. She said that I must be crazy. She told me that my humor sucked. I said, what an awful waste. She slammed the door right in my face. I guess there's no accounting for taste. Well, you can debit to the left and credit to the right. This accounting work keeps me up at night. I don't want to be no simple case. You can take stuff and throw it away. I'm a single guy, but I'm proud to say that I'm a teacher by trade. My students like me, I'm a lucky guy. I feel like I got it made. But someday I want to settle down, but I won't decide in haste. And if you don't like me the way that I am, well, there's just no accounting for taste. Well, you can debit to the left and credit to the right. This accounting work keeps me up at night. I don't want to be no